welcome to the Degenerate Gamblers. We're in the middle of college basketball. I feel like I'm waking up at 2, 3 in the morning, and I just got scores hitting me in the head.
Checking scores, Howie.
It's like this weekend was wild. We had a huge weekend. I'll tell you what, I'm going to start right with this one. So we had a good Saturday. Sunday, I get a text from Steve, and Steve says, right off the bat, you know, I like St. John's. I love the way Patino's got him playing. I like this team to possibly get to the Final Four. And Steve says, why are they giving Creighton 6.5? And I looked down, I'm like, no, man, that line should be 3, maybe 3.5.
Right.
I agree with you. That's way too many.
Way too many points. But they almost covered it. We got lucky there, Howie. We snuck that one out.
It was stressful, but I was all over. My tail had that one.
You said it. You said Creighton's been a covering machine, which they have, and I'm just like 6.5. You know, again, we lucked out. We got lucky. Yeah. Creighton knew the line. They gave us a nice little layup with a couple seconds left to give us the 6.5.
Yeah, and then we, you and I both, we took Maryland playing Iowa, and I want to say they were up to it there or tied at the half or something like that.
Yeah, it was a close game at halftime, and then Maryland just absolutely took them behind the woodshed.
That's the worst second half ass beating I've seen this year.
You said it on the Discord. You said that is the worst ass beating I've seen this whole year.
I mean, if you bet Iowa, we were laying like, I don't know, 12, 13, something, whatever.
And it was like 11.5.
Yeah, you could have got him second half at like minus 5.5 or 6. And I'm thinking, you know, you're sweating this out. The ball was inbounded in the second half, and with 3 minutes to go, Iowa went from like down 3 to up 10. And then it just was just horrible. It was an ass beating. So, yeah, that was on Sunday. And then, you know, last night, I'm looking at games, and all of a sudden, man, that Northern Iowa game popped out. They're a covering. I said that in Discord. I said, guys, this is a 5-unit bet because Northern Iowa is a covering machine. And I've said this all year long, home court advantage this year, for the most part, it's not what it used to be. You throw in a lot of factors, the NIL, the transfer portal, guys that played in certain places before. It's not what it used to be. You know, there are some exceptions. You know, when you're playing in Cameron on a Wednesday or Thursday night, or you got to go to Auburn, or some of these mid-majors, you got to play at a VCU. But for the most part, and I like Northern Iowa on the road, and you know, they were -2. They smashed. We're up 5 units. And then, of course, I go to my trusty Bucknell money line, which Bucknell just wins. That's what they do. Duke, I got them down to 8.5. That game was over against Virginia in the first
Crushed
half.
them by 18, yeah.
And then I went the opposite. I took Kansas State in the points. I got them up to 8.5. Utah's been playing well. Utah's front line, their big guys are finally playing. They're not letting that kid Madsen shoot every single time down the court. And, you know, Utah's beaten Kansas and Kansas State back-to-back, but they didn't win by 8.5, and we had Kansas State to close out that plus 148 parlay. It finished off as, you know, we swept yesterday. It's a good day. But we go into this week, and we're going to give you 3 days right here. And, of course, tonight's the night. Tonight's like a Saturday, man. These Wednesdays.
Super Tuesday.
These Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Are just insane. And
it's a Saturday.
This is a Saturday. Tonight is. And these games all have tournament implications because you look at the first one, 6:30. Both these teams, I mean, UConn, I can't say UConn's safely in this tournament yet. You lose to Seton Hall?
Seton Hall,
would they score 8 points in the last 30 seconds and won that game?
Unreal. I mean, Seton Hall hasn't beaten anybody this year. They've been atrocious. We've been talking about how they couldn't keep their guys. Kadari Richmond goes to, you know, St. John's because of money. You know, it's like, and there you go.
And again, you have Villanova fighting to get into this tournament. They're on the road in Storrs, Connecticut tonight, plus 8.5 points right off the bat. I think that's too many. I think it's too many, Steve.
I agree with you. Sharp money's on UConn here, and I can't get behind it. I can't get behind this UConn team because they're just too unpredictable. We don't know what we're going to get from them. We don't have a clue what team's going to show up tonight. No clue.
And you know what they've had in the past, they've had great guards in the past. They don't have that this year. I mean, they got guys that turn it over, make mistakes, don't get back on D. Danny Hurley's going to lose his mind this year. He's going to be in a mental institution.
Stroke out.
He is. I said that Saturday in the Discord. I said if they lose, he's going to. And they lost. Yeah. Hurley was twitching, walking off the court. You know,
wasn't pointing to his rings after that game.
No, all the Seton Hall fans were pointing to his hand after that. Yeah, he's losing shit. So you know, you got Nova, good team, played at UConn tonight. I don't know, man. I see that as a 2-3 point game. I won't put much on it, but I'll put a little on Nova. Maybe I'll get them up a little higher.
It's the Big East here. Nova goes and they smack Xavier at home. Then they beat the Johnnies at home. And then they go to Providence and they lay an egg and lose by 13. So now they're getting, 8.5, 9 points here going to Connecticut with the Connecticut team who's so up and down. They're a yo-yo all year. Their last 5 games, it's been win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Like, so what team's going to show up tonight? Vegas is telling you the UConn team that Bobby Hurley stuck his foot up their ass for the last 2 nights. And that's the team that's going to show up tonight. But I'm not putting my money anywhere near this game. I'm just not doing it.
No, I don't like it either. And if anything, I'll sprinkle a little on Nova as a dog. Another game, 6:30, and people, you're going to say you're nuts. What are you even looking at this game for? But I've handicapped this game up and down all around. I put out a video early this year on Eastern Michigan and how shady this program is. Isn't it? A month ago they were accused of shaving points, and you haven't really heard much about it. Miami's going into Eastern Michigan tonight as a -5 point favorite. Something's up with this game, guys. This is a money game. I think Miami's going to win this game by 20. Something is up with Eastern Michigan internally. It's not good. I think Vegas, somebody knows this. This line probably shouldn't be -5 points, but it is. I'm taking Miami of Ohio in the match against Eastern Michigan. I just think, hey, if they're going to shave points tonight, they're going to do it. First half, you might have Miami up big, but the line is shady. I like Miami of Ohio, and I've been looking at this game. So there's your free action game.
There you go.
And there's 3 games tonight that I have circled. This is one of them. Steve, you got Oklahoma plus 15 going into Florida. And I have this circled because I think this is a game they could lose by 30, man.
Oklahoma has not looked good of late at all. Losers of their last 4 and losers against the number of their last 4 and not LSU. They played LSU close. Wow. LSU stinks this year. Got slapped by Auburn, got slapped by Tennessee, got slapped by Missouri, slapped. And Florida's playing great basketball. Yeah. Winners of their last 4, covering their last 4, 7-3 in their last 10 against the number, 11-4 at home this year against the number. Give me the Gators. Chomp them up. Chomp up the old Moser. What's his name? What the hell's Oklahoma's coach? Came from Chicago, Loyola Chicago. Porter Moses. Jeez Louise, Doc. Yeah. Thought he was going to turn that program around. Really hasn't done it. Maybe I like the Gators. I say they lay the absolute wood on Oklahoma tonight, like everybody else has.
Out at me. I like Florida. I like them big. The next game I don't like, I'm going to lean to you for this because this is a game where Purdue is plus 3.5 at Michigan State. Michigan State had been really looking bad, but, they turned it around Saturday, second half.
Sure.
Turned it around, came back against Illinois, smacked them at Illinois. Now they're home. Maybe Izzo's got these guys back on track. They're playing a pretty good Purdue team here. Purdue's plus 3.5 on the road. I'm going to watch this game. I'm not betting it. Do you like anything in this?
I do. I'm glad you came to me on this one. I'm following the sharp money in this one, Howie. I'm following Sparty. I'm going to take Michigan State. They're laying 3.5 to like you said, a good Purdue squad. Both of these teams are ranked in the top 15 right now, but Vegas is telling us that Michigan State's the team to play tonight. They're telling us. They're showing it to us with the number of 3.5. I know it's a home game, but really the Big Ten has gone either way this year. So let's take the home team. Let's take them against a team that did not look good at all in Purdue against Wisconsin, which you were behind Wisconsin the other night, and Wisconsin beat them by 10. They lost it. They lost at Michigan by 2. So
and I took a little heat on the Discord. People are like, "How are you taking Wisconsin on the road?" I'm like, guys, follow it. It's the road teams have been covering this year. Across the board. You really got to look at which team is better, which team's playing better D. We'll get into it, but something huge right now that you really have to look at going into this tournament is look at each team's free throw percentage. That's big, especially going into the tournament, because you get a team that can't make free throws and they're in trouble. That's how spreads are covered, not covered, is foul shooting. So I like your point of view on this as far as taking Michigan State. I think you might be right. This kind of looks like, why is this line not even? Michigan State, maybe he's got things together now, and they put together 40 minutes here. Next game, this is another wild one, man. You got two teams still fighting. You got Texas A&M +2 as a road dog at Mississippi State. Mississippi State surprised the shit out of me Saturday by beating Ole Miss at Ole Miss.
Beat him good, too.
I couldn't believe that game, man. I could not believe that game.
Beat him by 10. Ole Miss was never in that game at any point. Never in doubt.
Surprised the shit out of me.
Well, especially after Miss State looked against Florida the game before that. They got annihilated, but what to say annihilated. They lost by 13 to Florida. So it's like I just think a lot of college basketball is this year, ups and downs. But A&M, man, I told you that's a team I'm going to get behind. It was A&M, Clemson, and somebody else I told you on Friday I'm going to get behind. A&M's a team I'm going to get behind. I'm behind them here. 2 units I got on A&M, getting points on the road.
Okay.
Midweek game. I like the Aggies. That's a team I'm probably going to be getting behind. They've covered. They've won their last 5. They've covered 3 out of those 5. So, and not bad on the road. And Miss State, they're 7-10 against the number at home this year. So they're not very good, especially laying points. So I'll take the 2.5 and I'll take A&M. I think they're the better defensive team, and I think they get it done here tonight.
Another game right afterwards. You got Colorado +17 on the road against Iowa State. And I had Iowa State this weekend. I had them on the alt spread. They covered, but I don't think they actually covered the real line.
They did not cover the real line. No.
But they got Colorado tonight. Now, listen, I like Iowa State. I think they hammer Colorado home. Listen, 17's a lot.
That's a lot of points.
A big number, man.
Howie, it's 18.5 right now.
Listen, I can see alt spreading that down to 12-13 maybe and take it, but I can't take Iowa State +18 or -18. That's just too many points.
No, too many. I think a ton of points. I like the under in this game, Howie. 140.5. I think Iowa State is going to play well defensively, especially at home. They're going to turn it up a little bit. Colorado struggles to score the basket on the road. So I'm going to take Iowa State, or I'm going to take the under in this one at Iowa State, 140.5.
140.5. I like it. I like it.
Both teams are struggling against the over-under. 2-7-1 in their last 10 is Colorado, and Iowa State's 3-7. So I think they lock it down, and I'm going to take the under.
I can see Iowa State winning this game 71-55, 72-55, something like that.
I got a big play at 8 o'clock.
Oh, please tell me it's not Butler Xavier.
It is not Butler Xavier.
Because
you can go into that one first.
Those are two twins playing in the Big East.
Yep.
They're both fighting to get in the tournament. They're both so similar.
Similar.
And you got Butler plus 6.5 playing at Xavier, who plays great at home again. I think the line's too much. This is a 2-3 point game.
Agreed.
This is a 2-3
I agree.
Point game. I mean, these teams are going to be playing for everything tonight. They got to win to get in the tourney.
Sure.
So then we have. Are you looking at Illinois, Wisconsin?
Not yet. No, that's another tough one. The Big Ten's been tough. I like a little sneaky team in the Big 12, Howie. They've been
Texas Tech and TCU.
Love Texas Tech tonight. Love them. They've been living under the radar. They jumped into the top 10 this week. Only have 5 losses. This Grant McCaslin, their coach, he is a fiery mother effer, and I love the guy. I love what he's doing with Texas Tech. He's got a over 700 winning percentage in his 2 years with Texas Tech. I love what he's doing, and I'll lay the points. I think TCU, they've definitely been struggling of late, and Texas Tech laying 7.5 on the road. Sharp money is back in TCU at this point, but I'm not. I'm gonna jump on Texas Tech. I'm gonna lay 5 units on this one, Howie, a big one. They've been covering on the road. TCU has been struggling at home, 6-9 this year, and Texas Tech's 5-3 against the number this year. So I'm jumping on them. I mean, they look good. I like Texas Tech. I like what I'm seeing.
Well, I'm going to give you one more on that. One more this could add to you is the good player from TCU, Isaiah Maddie. He's questionable, highly doubtful.
Okay.
So TCU
like it even more.
Yeah, I mean they're beaten up right now.
Howie, how about this Toppin kid? The guy's. I think he's averaging like 40 points in the last 3 games.
The only thing I will say, this line opened at Texas Tech -9. Now it's down to 7.5. That's interesting. Got a little movement, but I can see Texas Tech. They are good. They're excellent. Better teams in the Big 12. So you got Illinois going to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's covered the last 7 out of 8, and we bet them every week. So that's been one of my teams for the past month. They've covered the last 7 out of 8. Illinois +4 going to Whiskey. How do you not bet Whiskey? I mean, just take the money line if you got it in any kind of teaser or parlays. But
right,
I just don't see how Wisconsin loses at home against Illinois.
Not the way they've been playing, Howie. And Illinois, another team that's just up and down, up and down. You don't know who's showing up, and Whiskey at home is going to be tough.
Next game I have circled because this is a game I'm going 5 units hard in the paint.
Circle.
Houston's playing at Arizona State. Arizona State not playing well. Bobby Hurley's team is all but looks like they packed it in. Houston's starting to fire. They're healthy. Arizona State's guards are going to have a tough time against Houston. Lions -11.5 right now. I could see it probably going higher, maybe to 12 or 13. I like Houston. I like them on the road. I like them in this spot.
Yeah, Arizona State has not looked good at all. I'm looking at.
I said 11.5. It's already up to 12.5.
Yeah, 12.5 right now. I just saw the number, but they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They won. So they lost their last 5. They've lost 5. They've lost 6 out of their last 8. 6 out of the last 7. Yeah, 6 out of the last 7. They're not looking good. And
Houston's going to go in and throttle them.
We talked about it, though. How does Bobby Hurley not recruit to Arizona State? I mean, it might be heaven for an 18 to 22-year-old.
Well, it's cash. You got to have cash. I don't know what they're putting in out there. I mean, I know Arizona's paying, but I don't know about Arizona State. They may not have the cash yet. 9 o'clock, you got Kansas coming off that loss to Kansas State Saturday, +3 going to BYU. I'm not impressed with this Kansas team, especially
not at all.
And BYU's at home. They're going to be up for blood tonight. I like BYU at home tonight as a -3 favorite.
I can get you 2.5. DraftKings has it at 2.5 right now. To me, Kansas just they don't look good. They don't look good at all. I mean, when they got to play, I don't get some of these games. Last big game that they had was against Iowa State, and they smacked them. Then they go and lose to Kansas State. You know, you slap Iowa State, you think you're going to get things rolling, right? Then you lose to Kansas State. You beat Colorado. Whoop-de-doo, you're 17.5-point favorites. You didn't cover the number. And then you lose to Utah. I mean, Utah has been horrible lately.
I know. I don't know how Utah's won their last. They've beaten Kansas and Kansas State.
Unbelievable.
They won last night. I know.
Yeah.
The big guys are playing well. I'm telling you, the Madsen kid is not. I think he was shooting too much early on. Now they're getting the ball down low, and I mean, who knows going to the tournament? It could be interesting.
Yeah.
But I like BYU at home. Another game tonight, and this is the third game I have starred tonight, people. I have Florida, I have Houston. You want another teaser to get this line down? Take Marquette over Seton Hall. Seton Hall with a humongous win on Saturday. Upsets UConn at home. They're 17.5 dogs playing at Marquette. Marquette is going to put the beat down on them tonight. You got to coming off an emotional win. Now you got to go to Marquette. This is a rough spot for Seton Hall.
Tough spot. Very, very tough spot. And Vegas is telling you it's going to be a long night for Seton Hall.
I mean, I just see Marquette smashing them tonight. Another weird play I got at 10:30. You got Minnesota on the road playing at UCLA. UCLA's covered their last, I think, 5 out of 6. But I like Minnesota. They're plus 12. I think, they just beat USC? I know they covered.
Beat USC, yeah. Yeah, they were getting 7.5. They won by 3.
I like them in this spot against UCLA. 12's too many. I think they give them a game. I think they keep – Minnesota's a weird damn team, man. Weird. They have 2 good players.
Yep.
And when these guys play, they can play with anyone. The other guys play D. I think this is they can cover this 12 points tonight.
It's a lot of points, and they're staying in LA, so it's back-to-back LA games. It's not like they're coming midweek and they got to travel to the West Coast. They've been in LA for 3 days. I know we agree a lot on here, Howie, but I can't disagree on that one here. I think it's too many points. It's not that I don't think UCLA wins the game. I just don't think they cover that number.
Yeah, I can see Minnesota backdooring it, losing by 10 or 11.
Yep.
The other game you got tonight, final game tonight, we'll get out on Wednesday quickly. You got Fresno State plus 18.5 to San Diego State out of the Western Athletic Conference. San Diego State's one of these teams fighting to get in the tournament with basically New Mexico out of that conference. 18.5 points. I'm going to tell everyone right here, I have followed San Diego State all year long. They tend to not come out of the gates quickly. They tend to slow down the first half and come out second half strong. So if you want to take Fresno State first half, it might be a good idea. Or I'm going to sit back and wait. I'm going to see where this line is at the half and maybe take San Diego State second half.
Fresno State, you can get them 11.5 first half if you want to take the points.
That's probably what I'll do. Because I've watched San Diego State. They're a second half team.
Yeah.
So that's tonight's slate. We gave you some good information on that. Look, do your own handicapping. I'm going to tell you what we've done really well in college hoops this year. We go into Wednesday. I don't have lines Wednesday, but I've got some really good statistics. Wednesday night, 6:00, you have UMass visiting VCU, Virginia Commonwealth, 20-5. Fighting, they have to basically win out and at least get to their finals in the A10 tournament in Brooklyn this year to get to the tournament. Right now, Joe Lenardi has them on the out looking in. They're 20-5, but here's what I'm going to tell you about them. They're 8-10, 8 out of 10 against the spread their last 10.
Okay.
They cover.
Okay.
They're playing at home. I'm going to give you that number. I mean, I don't know what that line's probably going to be 12 or 13. But they cover. They cover.
What time's that game, Howie?
6:00 tomorrow. 6:00. Another 6:00 game. This is a weird one. Patriot Conference. You got American first place going to Army third place. Army's been covering. They've been playing well. They're playing at home. If they're a dog, if Army's a dog at home tomorrow, you want to look at them. You want to look at them because they're going to be out to try to knock off the first place team and move up. and that league's going to have some pretty good teams this year in that tournament.
Army's 7-3 in their last 10, and they've got a
Yeah.
winning record against the number at home.
Yes, I like them. So I'm looking at that. Another one you got to look at too. 6:30 tomorrow. You got Nebraska, Big 12, playing at Penn State. Penn State is 0 for 5 against the spread. Their last 5. They're playing so badly. I watched them. I watched Ace Baldwin just take 2 of the worst shots I've ever seen in my life Saturday. The team's falling apart. I will definitely look at Nebraska against Penn State in that game. Another one too. You got 7 o'clock. You got Southern Methodist, SMU, 19-6, still fighting to get into this tournament because they're playing in the ACC right now. They're playing at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's 0-6 against the spread in their last 6.
Did you see Shrewsbury yesterday? He came out guns blazing. He says, there was more. Who the hell did they play the other night? Oh my God.
Florida State, maybe?
No. Why can't I think of it? Yeah, but what time is that game on? I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock tomorrow. SMU at Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame's in tough. They're just not playing well.
Was it Louisville? There was more Louisville fans. There's more Louisville fans in the stands at South Bend than there were Notre Dame fans. He said it's an embarrassment. He said, mark this date down on your calendars, yada, yada, yada. All right, Shrewsbury, we'll see you. We'll see you at a mid-major in a couple of years.
Yeah, he's about to be fired.
Yeah.
He's out.
See ya.
7 o'clock tomorrow, we have a real barn burner. We have the NC State Wolfpack against Steve's favorite team, the North Carolina Tar Heels. And I'm going to give you a statistic right now. Both these teams
fucking stink.
You know what they are against the spread in their last 12? They've not covered 11 of them. Both teams have not covered 11 of them. So who do you pick in this game?
Oh, my goodness.
No idea.
Carolina's 1-9 in their last 10.
And NC State's not much better.
No. Nope. They stink too.
I have no play in that game.
None. Stay away. Stay far, far away. Carolina was laying 9 against Cuse. They were up 10 with 5 minutes left to go. Cuse came back and tied the game. Carolina wound up winning by 6, but it was ugly, ugly, ugly.
Next game, you got Providence playing Georgetown. I like this matchup. Georgetown's 15-10. They're still in the hunt in the Big East. They play well at home. They match up well with Providence. I like Georgetown at home tomorrow. That line's going to be close. Look for -2.5, maybe -3.
I agree. It's going to be an emotional game here.
Yeah.
With Cooley, Ed Cooley coaching Georgetown now, which, at some point that'll be a non-factor, but it's still something. And Providence is coming off that big win against Villanova. So they're flying high, and they're probably going to get their wings clipped.
Yeah. Another game tomorrow at 7 o'clock that has me a little worried. Vanderbilt, who's playing very well, goes to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Look for this line to be close because, again, Lamont Butler's got the shoulder injury. He's probably not going to play. This and the other guards out. Kentucky they can't win without Butler. They have to have him. Vandy has good players. I can see Vandy going in and winning this game. I mean, without Lamont, I can see him winning the game. Look for the line, probably Kentucky -2, -3.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be watching it. I'll be probably laying some on Vanderbilt. And the other game I love tomorrow. I love it. Alabama played Auburn Saturday, and I had Auburn winning that game. I mean, I thought they would win. They're better. I'm not that impressed with Alabama. As far as the talent they have to go to Missouri. Missouri's a team I love. They just got guys that just don't give a shit. They don't get nervous. They play hard D. They knock you right into the stands. They've covered their 5 out of the last 6 games. They're playing in Missouri.
8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, they cover. And Bama's going to be a favorite in this game.
100%. 6-2. 6-2 as a dog this year, Howie.
And I'd love to see Alabama laying 2 or 3 or 4 points, and I'll take Missouri all day money line to win that game.
Yep.
The place is going to be packed. Missouri has a solid basketball following, probably more than Alabama. I just like them in that spot tomorrow. I like them in that spot. Speaking of spots, Arkansas, who's been playing fairly well, they've been covering. They got to go to Auburn tomorrow night. That could be a problem.
Could be a problem. Some 9:00 games tomorrow night.
Auburn's been playing well, man. Jeez.
Arkansas struggles on the road, Howie. 2-7 against the number. It's,
Did you see Pettiford on Saturday? That kid does whatever he wants to.
You called it. Called it.
That kid.
No.
He
had that and one play. He's a kid you were talking about last week. Northern. What was he? North Jersey.
Yeah, Kyrie
South
Irving.
Jersey. Yeah.
Same type of game. This kid is an NBA guard, and he's why Auburn is probably the favorite to win the national championship. It's something else.
And the Broom kid's playing good now too.
Yeah,
at least looks healthy. So that's problems right there for anybody that's going to have to run into Auburn this year.
Somebody to beat Auburn, it's kind of like Yale beat them last year. You got to have a team that, number one, can handle the pressure. You don't turn the ball over. You're going to get open threes because Auburn doubles when they probably shouldn't. They play loose on defense. You're going to get open shots. If to beat Auburn, you got to knock them down. You knock down your shots. You don't turn the ball over. You make your free throws. You got a chance of beating Auburn. So tomorrow night, final game, we got Mexico University of New Mexico playing at Boise State. New Mexico is the cream of the crop in that conference. Boise State's one team. They play great at home. I'll look and see if they are a big dog. And I'll be look, if you like what you hear, hit the like button.
Hit it.
Join the Discord, man. Join the Discord. $24.99 a month. You got to join the Discord.
Money to be made, Howie.
Yes,
You're leaving money on the table.
We're talking every night on there with the fellas.
Some ladies, too. Don't leave out the ladies, Howie.
Yeah,
got my girl Marcy sliding into my DMs.
Yeah, we got chicks. We got chicks in there. Absolutely.
What is it? Where is she?
We got Mickey from Vegas. She's on there. She bets college hoops.
Love it. I even gave him some golf winners last weekend.
You did. Yes, right. Thanks for bringing that up.
2 top 10 finishers.
They loved it. You did. You killed it on golf. We got horse racing. We're going to be hitting everything up. 2 games Thursday I want to go over quickly. It's a light slate Thursday. Then Steve and I will be back Friday. But Thursday, 6:30, you got Northwestern at Ohio State. Northwestern, I don't think they've covered in their last 6 out of 7. They're terrible. Northwestern's got injuries. They're terrible. Ohio State is fighting to get in this tournament. They're going to probably win that game nicely Thursday. And then USC plays at Maryland. Is anybody playing better than Maryland right now in the Big Ten?
They're playing
12,
tough.
Big 10?
They're tough down low, Howie, like you said. You said it.
They got a couple. That one kid, oh, my God.
Monster.
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough. And
he was a 5-star recruit, though.
He was. He's the real deal. That's an NBA player.
Yep.
So there you have it. We went over some games. We told you what we like, what we don't like. Look, we run metrics. I look at which team is a better offensive rebounding team. Which team boxes out and only gives you one shot? Michigan. It's Michigan State. So we're in it right now. We're right in the mix of this thing. These games all matter because certain teams have to win. Butler, Xavier, they have to win to have a chance to get into this tourney right now. Look, join us. Join the Whop. Go to Howie Dewey on YouTube. Go to the Degenerate Gamblers on Whop, WHOP.com, and you'll see Steve and I in the Discord just betting on everything because that's what we do, Degenerate Gamblers. So, hey, peace out. And Steve, we'll be back Friday morning, crushing the weekend.
Let's go USA Thursday night. USA beat up on Canada.
That's
little
right.
Brother up north. Beat them up. Right. That's why we got America here. America.
That's right. It's all about fighting in the first minute. We want
3 brawls. Let's go.
That was awesome. All right. Peace, people.
Later.